How we doing today? I might sound a little congested. I might be catching a cold. I don't know. I don't feel great. Kind of feel achy. Oh, if I'm a little less energetic today, that is why. But even when you don't feel 100%, you're still up early and you still got to go through your daily routine. So we are going to still talk about the daily financial news. But before we jump into that, something I found led to a question of the day. Right, we're just about to turn the page on a new decade, and I am curious. What do you think was the best performing stock from 2010 through the end of 2019? Do me a favor, think about that, leave a guess. Leave it a guess in the comments below. I will give you the answer at the end of this video. And let's see how you did. So if you think you have a guess, hit pause, leave it in the comments, and then come back and watch the rest. All right. So um, first of note today is Boeing's CEO. I've read one article that said he was fired, the other one that he stepped down. So I assume that's some kind of internal rigmarole. But you'll remember, I think this was like 3 months ago. I put it out there that I expected Boeing to fire their CEO and actually make more drastic changes. Right, reading what I read 90 days ago, it seemed like um, the checks and balances of quality control had been rushed at least, and that really starts with the behavior at the top, maybe some cost cutting, running by whatever you want to call it. So it looks like Boeing CEO is out. Merry Christmas to him. I'm positive there's a monster golden parachute and all of that in tow. So we'll see. But I don't think this is the end of it. I think Boeing, the 737 Max, frankly, may never see the light of day again. And that's going to hurt, right? They did stop production, but again, based on a report we did last week or the week before, they're still losing about $1 billion a day. Or I'm sorry, $1 billion a month, not a day. Oof, wow, a day, ouch. So that is interesting. So interesting enough, at least at the open, Boeing stock rose 2.5% because the CEO was fired. Um, I guess they see this as good news that you're taking off the head and something else. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see why the stock's up just because the CEO is out. Maybe he ran it as an accountant would, right, on spreadsheets, and maybe the person stepping in is more of a manufacturer. I don't know, but we'll see. Next up, it looks like the Chinese tariffs are starting to come down. Some will be dropped on 800 products as of January 1st. But when you dig into what's going on with the tariffs between our two countries, it is very clear, at least by our reporting. You have to admit there may be some bias in this, but it looks like Chinese people, right, the populace of China is hurting. Their inflation on food is up 10 to 15%. Inflation on pork is up 100%. And growth is slowing. They have real estate overhang. So it it took a while to get here, right? As tariffs and taxes would, but you can really see it is in both parties' interest to get this behind us, which is frankly what we were hoping for, I am sure. So now we just need to sign this darn thing, which I think will happen in early January. Then get to talking about the bigger, agreement, get this behind us, and move forward. I did see that we have invited the UK Prime Minister out to the U.S. to talk about a deal should Brexit go through, which again is a good idea, right? Build those agreements early, so that is interesting. Next up, looking at the unicorns of 2020. So we've done a lot of talking about these software companies from the Silicon Valley valued over $1 billion going public. WeWork being the one we talked about the most, which actually never went public, was days away and failed miserably. But there's been others, right? Uber, Lyft, Slack, others we've talked about. So there's five, of which I've only heard of four, but we'll talk about all of them. Airbnb is the big player. It's interesting to read some articles on them. On one side, you have some Airbnb executives saying they don't need the cash, and then you have some financial analysts saying they need the money, right? They're running out. They need the cash to invest. So, and it looks like Airbnb is going to do a direct listing I need to read more into what that exactly is, but I'm guessing it's going direct to public and not through one of the big Wall Street houses. So we will see how that goes down. That looks to be an interesting one, but I wonder about Airbnb long term. It came out of nowhere, right? And really has changed the game, both for people on vacation, but also for people who own vacation homes. But it also seems like it is getting a bad rap in lots of areas, with different locations coming out with Airbnb rules. Santa Clara County being the one most recently in the Silicon Valley. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out next year. Next up is you have Casper. I don't know if you've heard of them. They are making some big investments. I've seen a couple of their pop-up stores recently. It's basically bed in a box. I've actually laid on one. I don't really get it, but whatever. So they are basically taking on the mattress industry, trying to say there's a better way, and they have at least some different technology. So good for them. But they're looking to go public in 2020. This is the one I hadn't heard of until I read about it. This is going to be badly pronounced. Didi Chuxing. Never heard of it. It basically is China's answer to Uber. They've done a lot of investing to try to grow and catch up, but now they are looking to go public. It'll be interesting to see if this one goes public in the U.S. or stays in the Asia market. But again, they're looking to go public and recoup some of those cash investments. DoorDash is looking to go out as well. And then lastly, Robinhood. Robinhood really has changed the game in so many different ways. I give them credit for taking the cost of trades down to zero, right? They sort of crossed that chasm first and forced TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab and others to follow suit. So good for them. And then lastly, tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And I don't know if you remember Christmas Eve of 2018, but if you don't, you should go back and look at it, because 2018, December 24th, the Dow dropped over 400 points. It was the fifth down day out of 7, and we had a very different vibe in 2018 versus today. And the reason I bring this up is twofold. First, I think we are exact opposite. I think we have plenty of momentum heading into this Christmas Eve, which is tomorrow. So it's kind of the opposite. But here's the trick, right? What happened after December 24th of 18? It proved to be that, the lowest of the day, and the stocks ran from there. Could December 24th of this year be the top? Now that would be, that's too perfect calendar-wise to make sense. But the idea still holds, right? Where we were so negative and afraid in 19, right? We've gone from afraid to greed. So I'm just wondering if we are not setting ourselves up for a negative open to 2020. So ask yourself that question, see what you think. So now to answer the question posed earlier, and if you haven't had a chance to answer it, you still have a chance. Let's see how you did. What was the best performing stock of 2010? So 10 years. You ready? It was Netflix. It was up over 4,000%. I would not have got that right. I would have guessed probably Amazon, but nope, it looks like Netflix, up 4,000%. So I hope you have a great day. We will do another daily financial news tomorrow. And of course, if you can help me grow this channel by hitting that subscribe button and recommending it to all your friends and Facebook groups, I would greatly appreciate it. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.